Hi, this is DeneenTB, your faith-based business strategist and clarity coach. And today on the Truth in Business show, we're going to be talking about the 5 myths around serving God. Won't you join me? So today I'm going to be talking about these 5 myths about serving God, because I know you are a Christian businesswoman who knows how to do her business. You are good at what you do. No matter if you are a financial planner, own your own business in healthcare, or if you're in direct sales, you are a person who knows what she's doing in that realm. But sometimes you feel like your faith life could be better. You feel like maybe you don't know exactly what you're doing, or you have an idea about what your faith life should look like based on someone else's opinion, based on what maybe you learned growing up, or what you learned when you became a believer. So I want to kind of bust this out of the water. I want to take away your guilt about anything that you feel that you're not serving God enough. You know how to do this on the business side. You know how to make plans and have projects. Well, I want to challenge you. And maybe you don't like the word challenge. Maybe you like the word encourage. But I want to get you to think, how do I treat my faith life just like I would anything else in my life, whether it's a project or it's a plan or something that I have to do. We need to have a goal for our faith life, just like we have a goal to reach our financial goals, right? We need to have a goal, but we've got to look at these 5 myths. The first of the 5 myths about serving God is that we need to do it vocationally. We need to be a pastor or a priest or a missionary or some kind of work that is just for God. This is not true, or the whole world would not be serving God. We have a society that is a marketplace society, right? And we can look back in the Bible and we can see how this worked in the lives of the believers in the Bible during their time in history, in their culture. We can see that with Priscilla and Aquila and Paul. We can see that with Lydia. We can see it in the lives of people like Ruth and Esther. We can see it in the lives of Huldah, Pua, and Shiphrah. Maybe some names you haven't heard before from the Bible. These were all people who lived in the marketplace, who had a profession, who had a business that they were doing. And while they were doing that, they loved God and they served God, and they understood that they were there to share His goodness in the marketplace. The second myth is that you need some type of Bible degree in order to serve God. I know lots of what we consider lay people in the church, people who do not have a profession in the church, that have a profession outside the church, that feel that the only way that they're able to really talk to others about Jesus is if they have a degree. So they will get certificates and degrees, which are not bad, but God doesn't call all of us to do that. What He calls us to do is to share our experience with Him, our experience of how He changed our lives, how He transformed us from one type of person to another type of person, how He's grown us. And we can share that with people in the marketplace. We can share that with our business partners, with people we network with people in our offices, with those that are our clients and customers, because it's our experience and it's something that's worked for us. And so we don't need a Bible degree. That's another myth. The third myth is that you need to volunteer at every single event or at only church-sponsored events to be serving God. This is probably the one I get the most attention around and people ask me the most questions about. Because for me, if you're in the community serving, if you're in your job serving those people around you, you are doing work. Those people that you come in contact with on a daily basis, you spend a lot more time with than the people that you see at church. than the people that are visiting your church. And nowadays, people really aren't visiting churches the way that they used to, but they are watching you. They are seeing how you respond to situations. They are looking at how you work, how you listen to people. You may not think that people are paying attention to you, but they are. And it's up to us to really connect that faith and that business so that we're showing up as our true, honest, authentic, holy, whole self every single day, so that we're representing Christ, representing God in a good way, in a way that honors Him and that shows His goodness to other people. So don't think that only when you show up to church-sponsored activities, you are serving God. You're doing it every single day, and you need to realize and be really cognizant of the fact that that's what's happening and that's what God wants for you. The fourth myth is that your job, your work, is so that you can make money in order to donate to the church. This is so not true, because God has so much more for you than to be miserable making money during the week, doing the world thing, just so you can give the money to the church. He wants your whole life to be integrated. He wants how you're acting and feeling and showing up, and that attitude that you have on Tuesday to be the same attitude, actions, and way you are when you walk into a worship service in your local community. However you come to God on a weekend, going to your place of worship, we need to have that same attitude when we go to job on Monday morning, Thursday afternoon, whenever. That is what God wants for us. He wants us to see our work and making the money not just so we can support the church, but so that we can support our families, so that we can support other people that might need us in our community, so that we can do good while making money. I hope that makes sense to you. The fifth myth, and I've kind of alluded to it already, is that there's a difference between the sacred and the secular. But there's not. It is an integrated life. I was thinking about this, and I've said this before. We are all on a service to God called the Great Commission. And we have a personal Great Commission. It's not just for the preachers. It's not just for the church people. It's not for just get people to church to hear the gospel. Our Great Commission is to tell others about Jesus, right? Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost parts of the earth. So our Jerusalem is where we are each and every single day, where we spend the most time, whether that's with our family, in our positions, in our jobs, with other people in different ways. That's our Jerusalem. So we have a personal Great Commission. And what does that look like? And I always say it this way: who are your five? So we've had 5 myths today about how to serve God. And now I'm going to talk about 5 people in your life, right? You can serve God by asking Him, who are the 5 people in your life that need to know Him? And just start to pray for them. Start to pray for them. They could be people that you work with. They could be people in your family. They could be friends. They could be neighbors. Who are those 5 people? And then start to just pray for them. Then just pick 2. 1 or 2. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, 2, but pick 1 or 2 to start to have a deeper relationship with. Show them that you care about them. If it's a coworker, invite them to coffee, to lunch. Invite them to something you're doing on a weekend or after work. Share your life with this person. Share who you are with this person. This is not so you're calculating or intentionally because you're going to whatever. This is so that God's given this person or put this person on your heart to reach out to show that you care, Show His love. Share with Him yourself, your authentic self, right? It means that you still do everything with excellence. Have that attitude of excellence, that you are always showing up the way Christ would show up. Always having a time for someone. Always able and ready to listen. Being very mindful of the moments, the opportunities that God brings in front of you, right? So who are your 5? Ask Him so you can pray. Who are the 1 or 2 that you could start to pour into? How can you show up? Always with excellence. And you may get the opportunity to share Christ. You may be the one who gets to disciple them and answer their questions about God, mentor them. That's amazing. But don't limit yourself to the 5 myths that the only way to serve God is to do it vocationally, to have a degree, to only be volunteering in church-sponsored activities, that you work just so you can donate your money, or that there's a difference between your secular world and your sacred world. Those are the 5 myths. And I hope that you have learned, you have seen that you're excited and motivated about the fact that you can truly serve God by being on your own Great Commission, doing so every single day in your work. In the comments below, I would love for you to tell me if you know who your 5 are. You can just say, I know my 5. I know my 5. I would love to come alongside of you and pray for you as you are opening up to this great work and getting rid of the myths and the way you thought God wanted you to serve, and really opening up to how He wants you to serve in the marketplace, in your work, in your business, in your daily activities, and that He really wants you to pour into the lives of others. If this is something new to you, I would love to have a clarity conversation with you. In the show notes, I've put a link so that you can have your free 30-minute conversation with me, and let's see if we connect. If I'm your person, but it's absolutely free, no obligation, but let's see if I'm your person to help you connect your faith and your business in a way that is different for you, is new for you, is exciting and motivating, so you really understand that God has you there for a specific reason, for your purpose and calling. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Truth in Business Show. I hope you've learned something. Make sure to put in the comments below that, yes, I know my 5, so I can pray for you. And as always, be filled to overflowing.